Creating a Methodology by Miles Biermeyer, National American University Online. The president of the company, John Compton, has expressed his feelings to all of the executive staff. He explained to his team that a lack of project management methodology has caused the company to no longer be competitive in the market. He explained that all of the company's competitors in the market have project management methodologies in place except for them. John Compton stated that he wanted to have his company have these methodologies in place within 6 months. This is an ambitious goal and will require the commitment of all the executive staff. The culture of the company is the reason that the executive management has waited so long to implement an EPM system. A major contributing factor of this culture was control. To set up a PMO and office would require that the PMO only have one company executive to report to. This means that the other executives in the company would have to relinquish their control in regards to managing projects. There is strong resistance to this because all the executives currently have some control, and letting go of their control over a project is not something that they will easily do. Implementing the system and hiring a PMO will incur costs to the company. The company does not want to increase administrative costs, but it has come to the point where they are no longer competitive in the market. This means that the company is basically forced to take on these additional costs. Whenever large changes are needed within a company, the existing culture in the company will resist the change. Many will feel that the methods they have been using are working just fine, and changing things is just going to screw it up. This is common and must be overcome. The company executives have been using PMBOK templates already in their RFPs. They do not want to scrap and develop new forms to use in their project. Salvaging some of the existing templates can be helpful in keeping down costs and encouraging the executives to accept the change. Acquiring a PMO as soon as possible will help to ensure the company is able to achieve its goal of having a project management methodology in place in line with the goals set forth by the company president. A PMO will have studied the different types of EPM available, so learning about the company and the market that it operates in will allow the PMO to make effective decisions to implement the project management methodology for the company. If the company makes a decision on a methodology to employ before they acquire a PMO, the PMO may come in and show why the methodology that was chosen is fundamentally flawed. This company needs to acquire a PMO as soon as possible if they want to achieve their goal of having an EPM methodology deployed and in use within 6 months. It is not appropriate for the PMO to be required to report to all the different executives at the company. There is too many executives and this will require too much time. The PMO needs to have time to be able to manage the project. It is important for the PMO to only report to the Chief Information Officer. That is because if there are too many executive officers to report to, the PMO will not have enough time to fully report the information. The Chief Information Officer can relay the information to the other executives in the company. It is important that the EPM system to be effective but not overly complicated. If there are too many life cycles in the EPM system, then the project manager will be overwhelmed with all the reporting and meetings that each life cycle requires. In that case, it will become more difficult for the PMO to commit the time needed to manage the project effectively. If there are too few cycles, then the project's progress will not be reported often enough for intervention to occur. 6 cycles is an appropriate amount to keep everyone informed but not be overwhelming for the project manager. An EPM system analyzes data from many sources, which allows EPMs to support many high-performance methodologies. It is best to design an EPM system around flexible conditions. In projects, there are a lot of moving parts which sometimes require flexibility. The larger the projects, the more flexible the design of the EPM system needs to be in order to get the best results. Having a formal design which is laid out in ways which allow everyone to understand the rules and requirements of the design will be very helpful when the EPM needs to flex to account for changes or risks that will be encountered during the course of the project. Small to mid-sized businesses turn to the cloud in search of cost-effective software solutions and alternatives to spreadsheets. An EPM system must capture the best practices of the company. What this means is that it must enable the executives, PMO, and all other members of the company to be able to use their best practices during the project. Oracle Enterprise Performance Management Cloud gives them the agility they will need to respond quickly in fast times. Having a detailed structure that is flexible to account for changes or differences, but still retaining the strong baseline will enable the EPM to ensure that the best practices are utilized throughout the project. These are the references that were used to construct this presentation. Thank you.